can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon. It can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to MK Headlines episode number 45. It's me and my co-host Further AM and our special guest Jimmy Smith from On the Road to Victory. What is up, guys?
What is up? Happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. Ryan, Mitch, really ready to talk some birds here. Doing great, though. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and just to let the people know, where can they find you on social media? So we'll get that
You can find me at OTR2, the number, Victory on Twitter, and I use all the social media platforms, so anything along those lines, and then On the Road to Victory with Jimmy Smith on YouTube and everywhere else. I try to use all of them. Mostly, though, I use Twitter and YouTube, but you can find me everywhere, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And you've just been everywhere. You were with Philly 500, Joe Castro, running back Philly. You were been everywhere. You're killing it right now.
Thank you, my man. Yeah, it was. Oh, what an honor to be asked to go on the show with those guys, and an honor to be asked by you guys. Come on. I always love being able to, come on shows and just be able to spread whatever knowledge I have. And, all of us just bask in this brotherly love. And we know the past year, not many people ready to bask in anything. So it's a nice turnaround these past few weeks. So it was great, man. These past couple months being able to go on those shows, explain how I felt this defense was going to run, what I thought Jalen Hurts was going to develop into. So it was great being able to jump ahead of that and try to get other people on board before it happened. So, yeah, really great being able to come on all of these great shows.
Yeah, I bet it is. But we got to talk about this game, right? They blow out the Commanders 24-8. So I'm going to ask you, Jimmy, right off the gate. What did you take from this game? What stood out to you the most during this game?
Well, huge game, divisional game on the road. Each week it's always you're hearing from the media, well, they didn't do this. Well, it wasn't this. I haven't seen this. Well, everybody's grasping for straws at this point because they know they've been wrong all offseason and the birds are coming. So they're backtracking. Let them keep doing that. But what I saw from this game was what the Eagles need to do. I don't care about the media, the fans, what they think. What I need this team to do is to continue to develop and grow. What they did last year was each week learn from those mistakes. And we talked about bumpy roads last year, but waiting the storm, getting through that, seeing what Howie would be able to do with those picks, the draft, all that stuff, the cap space he had. He goes out, adds all of these pieces. Now, the one thing I talked about this all season was we need to stay patient. What's going on, Ryan? We need to expect bumpy roads. These are great players, but you can't just throw people together and expect great things to happen. So we saw some bumpy roads. The Lions game, now the Vikings game, a little sloppy at first, but we stomped the hell out of them. Love to see that. Now the Washington game, it was, you got to go in here and you got to throttle them. You got to beat them at least 2 touchdowns there. Now, I know some people feel a certain way about not scoring in the second half. And look, I do too. You got to do certain things. But I also am not somebody who's going to pick it apart and, oh, man, this team sucks. I can't believe they didn't win by more than 16 points. And it's like, look, man, I'm excited that this team continues to grow because they're not even close to 100% yet. They're not on the same page. When that defense, when it's more just reacting and less thinking and then reacting, it's game over for people. And, I broke down the multiple schemes of what I wanted to see. And in this game, I said, I need to see sacks. We are not creating pressure. So we go ahead and get 9. Now, we all know Carson Wentz pocket awareness. So we took advantage of that, but we took advantage of the line too. And we got 7 of those 9 sacks without blitzing. A lot of people feel we need to blitz. You got to blitz every play. That's unfortunately not how things work. And you need to create pressure with these odd fronts without blitzing, allowing more people to be in coverage in this passing league. So the Eagles went ahead and did that, shut them down. They scored 8 garbage points, not really worried about that. The defense was just phenomenal, and that's something that was very questionable for people. The offense continues to grow with A.J. Brown now in it, and I think the sky's the limit for this team. So what I found out was Jalen Hurts is indeed continuing to develop. This team continues each week to get better. So if they keep doing that, stay healthy, we've got ourselves a contender here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Further, what do you have to say about this? About
a little bit off Jimmy, I'm just going to say it's nice to see them develop and learn from their mistakes, and also to maintain what they have learned and keep going and progressing. Now I want to see that going into the Jaguars, obviously, this coming week at 1. I can't wait to see that. Dougie P is going to be coming to the link. I want to give him a good, Philly welcome. We got to give him a good cheer right off the get when he gets right out the tunnel for that Super Bowl year. But then right afterwards, I expect everyone to give him a nice Philly welcome with the boo. So that'll be interesting to see at the link coming up. But but let's just go off with the Commanders. I thought it was great watching them try to fight, see who wanted to be Batman on offense, having the cape, showing the cape on the sideline, handing it off when each of them got a touchdown. Flashing that was really fun to see. This defense just right off the get-go. I mean, the first 3 drives, you saw Fletcher Cox right off the bat. Then immediately right out the next drive, you see Hargrave. And then again with Cox again. And then you saw Brandon Graham. He's like, I want to join the fun. Okay, 2.5 sacks. So it was amazing to see the defense. And someone said Jordan Davis only got 12 snaps. I couldn't believe that. I thought he was out there way more, but apparently he was only there for 12 snaps. So wait until we start seeing him fully develop and get out there. Our defense is going to be even more lethal. And then Nakobe Dean to add on to the mix. So this team's defense is scary. I mean, we're looking at like even better than the Buffalo Bills. I saw some of the top high statistical scores in the NFL on defense, and we make literally top 3 on everything on the list, from passing defense, rushing defense, to sacks. We're number 1 in the league in sacks right now. So, I mean, we are on fire. So, what do you think?
So, for me, the biggest thing is Jalen Hurts. That's honestly the biggest thing for me right now. I just love what he's doing. We're going to talk about him later on, but I'm just saying he has more throwing touchdowns than rushing. He threw for over 300 yards again. This guy's really improved. He really developed his game in front of our eyes, and I love it. It is great. And we actually have a question here I want to bring up. Mitch, are you worried about the fact that the Eagles scored all of their points in 1 quarter? To me, I was just like, yes and no, because it's like we're not really holding back the playbook and stuff like that. So for me, it's just like I'm not fully worried. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Jimmy, I'll start off with you for that.
Yeah, as I kind of alluded to earlier, I know that's an issue for some people. And look, when it comes to playing better teams, when the games are closer, you're going to want your team to score more points. But that wasn't the case. So people can paint whatever picture in the future they want. But for the now, this team is taking care of business. Now, week 1, they let the pedal off the metal and they let Lions sneak back in. But I never felt they were going to lose that game. The Vikings, look, they didn't score in the second half, but they did not stop beating their ass on defense. So I think that, you keep growing with those things, and you're going to, again, as I said earlier, learn, and you're going to hopefully clean those things up. You want to score in the second half. Yes, I do not think that this is something that, this is perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. But in a game where it's close, yes, you're going to want to score second half points, but not reading too much into it. Let them all get on the same page, and I think we'll be all right.
Further, how do you feel?
I'm just going to go off what Cool Cat Connor said on Saturday watching his pregame show live. He said if we got 30 points in the first half by halftime, this game would be over. And boy, was he sure right. I mean, it might not have been 30 points, but when you let a game get away that far by halftime, unless you're the Atlanta Falcons, I don't think the team's going to come back. So
Facts.
I think we're, especially not the Eagles, we're not that type of team, and not that, we're going to let something get away like that. But we got to just step it up a little bit on offense on the second half. There's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, Jimmy, we're going to learn. We'll learn from that mistake, and we'll keep on scoring. We did it during the Vikings, and we sure do it against the Jags. We'll maintain on that.
What a great problem to have, though, right? I mean, we're scoring too much in the first half. Damn it!
We need to keep scoring, right? That's our problem. We just need to keep scoring. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, are those teams like we're playing the Jaguars, we're playing the Cardinals, I mean, are those two teams able to come back? I mean, I guess they are any given Sunday, right? But it's just
Any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any given Sunday, but I think with the defense that you have, they've proven, and this is something I broke down this offseason with the secondary you have and the front seven revamped. I mean, you can shut down anybody. We just watched this defense shut down Justin Jefferson. So I don't care who you bring. Dalvin Cook is also on that offense with Adam Thielen or Smith. So we can do anything to anybody. It's just got to be the right game plan, people on the same page, no 14 missed tackles, no shooting yourself in the foot with penalties. So again, there are mistakes these first few weeks. But I'm very happy at 3-0. The second, there's only 2 teams that are undefeated. I think we're doing pretty well. Just keep growing. Again, these are the bumpy roads that I expected. But to be undefeated at this point and be able to learn while winning, I love it.
Jimmy, can I ask you a question? When you were on Twitter yesterday, I don't know if you saw the Twitter feed, but I'd say about second quarter, people all started posting all at the exact same time saying, pick is coming. There's going to be a pick. We're going to pick off Wentz, right? But unfortunately, there was no pick yesterday on Wentz. What do you think about that?
Him not turning the ball over. I saw that one fumble he had, and I was like, yeah. When he fumbled, I was like, yeah. So there was no interception, but I thought that was pretty wild of him. One of the things I talked about before the game was you got to, create pressure, get those sacks, but let's cause turnovers. Now, I didn't see those turnovers, him throwing the ball. So impressive for him to not do that. But I think he was so dead set on not throwing an interception that he took so many of those sacks, which is part of his problem all of his career. So that pocket awareness comes back to bite him in the ass again. And, I had predicted that we went out and got 5+ sacks. I had 2 for Hassan Reddick. Well, he had 1.5, and we went out and got 9. But this is something we talk about. Once these guys get on the same page and start this odd front, the way you can use this against team when you don't have to blitz, oh boy, be warned. Now, again, this is the Washington Commanders who don't have the greatest offensive line, and Carson Wentz is the quarterback. So you're going to face tougher lines. You're going to face tougher opponents. But these are the tune-up games where you get to learn, keep growing. And we all know not even really halfway through the season is when you really start feeling like you're all on the same page. So I'm loving 3 weeks into this. You being able to shut down Terry McLaurin for most of the game. I know he ended the game with 100 yards, all that garbage stuff they got there, but shutting him and Gibson, Logan Thomas. I mean, this team is showing me, I don't care how many weapons you have. I'm really excited about this future of this team.
Yeah, I am too. How do you guys feel about Jonathan Gannon throughout these last 2 games? Because for me, it's just he turned it around after the Lions after we gave up 35 snaps. So it's just further, I'm going to start with you on this one. Well, how do you feel about Jonathan Gannon, about him flipping everything? People wanted him gone after the Lions game.
I was worried after the Lions game. If anyone was here and heard me live, I said I was worried about that Commanders game because of the defense. And boy, the Vikings game, going into the Vikings game. And he sure did prove me wrong in the Vikings game, leading me to believe that going in this Commanders game, we were pretty set. And he sure did show that we maintained that defense and that we do have a good defense. We're talking about Gannon's going to have to maintain. He's still not, he's still in a little bit of the hot seat. He's still something to be worried about. I don't want him to slack. There's still Eagles fans out there that say, watch Jonathan Gannon not have this great defense during the Cowboys game about to be coming up here. So you still got to look out for Jonathan Gannon, make sure he's on top of things. We don't pull any slack. We got to maintain. That's all I keep saying, this word maintain. That's going to be my word. Jonathan Gannon has to maintain now.
Yeah. My guy Randy says, I wanted him gone, and Jimmy changed my mind because he helped breaking down the play style of his. So,
well, I'll just go off of what Randy says here. Great stuff, Randy. Always appreciate you tuning in, my man. Love you, dude. Look, one of the things, I'm a huge Jonathan Gannon fan. One of the things I sought out to do this offseason was try to counteract all the misinformation being put out by the media and fans. The first thing I heard was, the Eagles are switching to a defense they already ran last year. That was my first warning. I was like, oh, what do you mean we're switching to a defense that we already run? We already run it. How are we switching to it? So I knew right away, oh boy, the media didn't even watch a game last year, and they're about to tell us all about how much they know, which clearly was very little. So I went out and I started making videos, and that's what Randy's referring to. I started making graphics where I would put together what the schemes actually look like, how these guys are lining up, why it was pivotal to add a nose tackle, a Sam linebacker, 2 linebackers, an outside corner, a safety. All these pieces were must have. Now, Jonathan Gannon last year, there were times where it was just like, what are you doing? But for me, by the end of it, it was okay. I love the idea of what he's trying to do. We just lack the personnel. So my question last year was, okay, why are we running certain things if you don't have that personnel? Now, I think he was trying to see if certain guys could do things, trying to figure out what holes we really have for this year. So we knew we needed a nose tackle. We knew we needed a real Sam linebacker, somebody that can, pressure and then 3 or 4 times a game drop into coverage. So we knew Hassan Reddick was the perfect guy for that. So I sought out to talk about those guys. While everybody was talking about trade for Deshaun Watson, I was like, let's talk about what the Eagles could do with that money and those picks. So once we got all those people, I just literally had the same things I'd already talked about and was like, okay, well, this is what I meant. So I showed 3-4, 5-2, all, dude, Okie, under, every different variation of different fronts, schemes, everything you're ever going to see. I broke it down so that people would understand, look, the media just doesn't know what they're watching or understand. So when you've got Alex Singleton as your middle linebacker, Jannard Avery as your Sam linebacker, you are not going to find such success. Now, when you have guys like Hargrave, Cox playing out of position as a nose tackle in certain schemes they shouldn't be, that's not going to be successful. So you see this year, when those guys get, okay, now you can put Cox and Hargrave in 3 and 5 techniques. Now you can use these guys correctly. You have a nose tackle. You have these things. And Ryan had mentioned it earlier, dude. Look, once you get Jordan Davis up to speed, he's going to get more snaps. Once you get N'Kobe Davis is able to learn under TJ Edwards and Kaiser White, so he's good right now. But those guys will get more snaps. Like, the future is so effing bright for this team, but it's like, the one thing I kept hearing was Jonathan Gannon doesn't know that, and I was so confused. And I was like, well, you do understand there's a reason that the Broncos and the Texans are trying to get him as a head coach. This guy is a genius. And when it comes to defense, you need your players to actually be able to tackle and do what they're supposed to do for you to be able to find success. So last year, we saw that didn't happen very much at all. But by the end of the year, we were top 10 in yards allowed. I couldn't believe how much this defense improved. Now you go add all these pieces. For me, it was a clear as day. Okay, now he's got the pieces. If these guys get on the same page, it's game over. Now, week 1, everybody was calling for him to be fired, and I'm, I thought you said Jonathan Gannon was good. What the hell? And I was like, look, man, I also said expect bumpy roads at first because this is what you're going to see. Now, Lions only had 14 points at halftime. We let him get it back into the game. Yes, he made a mistake there, and he even admitted it. But my point was, okay, now when we come to the Vikings game, we're going to see what this defense is because this is a real deal offense. There is no way, which, they are making excuses that anyone could say, this isn't a great feat for them to shut them down. Justin Jefferson, one of the greatest receivers I've ever watched. So we do that. And it was like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Because for me, I begged it. And dude, you guys should have seen me in the parking lot at the link. Like, people are asking me, how are we going to, I'm like, damn it, if he doesn't run that damn penny formation. All I wanted to see was that 5-1-5 nickel, baby. I need those odd fronts. And, Randy had mentioned it. I sought out for months this all season to try to teach what those were. And, not to be a jerk to fans, to people that don't really care about that kind of stuff. Who cares? I'm talking about the media people that went out and were like, well, the Eagles are switching defense. And I would comment under below and be like, well, that's weird. How are they switching to odd fronts when they literally ran odd fronts last year? So then I'd show them a video or I'd break down and they never would answer. And it was like, all I'm trying to do is help you guys stop misinforming people and having them call in for everyone's head. Like last year, fire Nick Sirianni. We're going to cut Jalen Hurts. And it's like, holy, I never knew that guys were supposed to get cut and traded not even a year into their first year. It's like, when did we stop letting people develop, especially second-year quarterbacks that are developmental quarterbacks, knowing when you bring them in that that's the case? And then the guy goes out and does everything he can and then some to be the best he can. Never understood the doubt, but people are eating their words now. But I love Jonathan Gannon, man. I love it. But I understand what Ryan was saying. I totally understand the skepticism because it's like, why are you running certain things if you don't have those schemes? Now, when you got the players, it was like, this is it. You better show it. And I totally get it. Letting the Lions come back in the game. People didn't think they were as good as they are. Whoa. So it's scary, but I think he has shown these last 2 games, holy shit, he can shut them down. Let's continue building on that.
Yeah. So for me, it's just like, I love it because everything we went through last year, the rebuilding and everything, the fact we got in the playoffs, whatever Jonathan Gannon did was right, but he still had a lot of fixes to be made. The Lions are what's not going to get fixed right away. Was I mad? Yes. I made a rant video about Jordan Davis getting 22 sacks.
Did you?
So it's just
Hey,
like,
I'm with you. I get it.
it's just like Jonathan Gannon, he's going to do fine, and he wants to improve so he can definitely get a head coaching job at the end of this year. That's his motivation to get a head coaching job. So for me, it's just like I'm all good for that.
What's crazy is just both sides of the ball look just because I was one of those people that really lived. I was in college at the time, but I was living really through that 2017 season. Wake up, school, all my schoolwork. We're watching football today on Sunday while everyone's doing reports and papers, getting ready for Monday in class. I'm watching the Eagles football, and to watch that whole season play out and now see this season 5 years later. I have to say, with my own eyes, thus far this season, just so far, this looks better than the 2017 season on both sides, offensively and defensively. I've got that Jim Schwartz vibe, like our defense hasn't done 9 sacks like this. What was it? It was a game in the 2000s, but before that, it was 1991.
Yeah,
with
dude.
Buddy Ryan's as head coach with Reggie White and Clyde the Slide Slimmons and Jerome Brown. So this is great to see this defense just come together and seeing Fletcher. Everyone, like the past 2 years, hasn't everyone been saying, where's Fletcher Cox? Where's Fletcher Cox? Where's Fletcher Cox? I don't even want to give him a contract. I want to give him a contract now. I don't want him to go anywhere else. I want to keep him. And only with Jordan Davis there coming in and having more snaps gives Fletcher Cox more freedom to get on that pass rush and get to the quarterback. And you saw it yesterday with 2 sacks from him. It was just amazing to see him back. It was like I haven't seen it since week 1, 2017, when he picked up the forced fumble and ran it in for a touchdown. Doing the dance in the end zone. I miss that Fletcher Cox. So I need more of that this year. More Fletcher Cox. It's great.
So Ryan Rowe says Jonathan Gannon must maintain the personnel and defense schemes to changing the rotations of developing and running the nickel corners play to contain the pressure in sacks. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Jonathan Gannon just has to keep doing exactly what he's been doing. I couldn't agree more. I don't know why people were doubting him, but just like Ryan says, Jonathan Gannon has to do exactly what he's been doing. So don't know where, people are still upset about it. It's like, look, man, I did my best for months to break this down, and I caught so much hate this offseason. And when I said that this team was going to be better than, the 2017 team, bro, when I tell you people, they gun for me, man. When I try to break down the cap, when they tell me you don't know anything, and it's like, all I'm trying to do is help you understand football. And they have to be right now punching the air. I can't imagine what those people are feeling right now, because I did my best to explain what was coming, and I think they see it now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Brandon Graham back and healthy. You can see he was a huge leader we lost on that line last year, but I'm really excited about him this year. I'm excited about him. I'm excited about Fletcher Cox coming back into his own. Like, these veterans are proving, hey, we can still do this.
And Sweat's looking better than last year, so let's see more from him too. Sweat was, all over pass rushing on Wentz. That was great. So
yeah, man, they were all eating, man. It was, and that's what I talk about. When you've got the ability to have Jordan Davis, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, and then Sweat and Reddick outside, that's what I try to explain this offseason. Those odd fronts, you can murder people, and we are going to do that, man. So they're only going to get better at it.
Almighty, how are your Giants after last night? I'm sorry.
Yeah, how did that go for you? I guess we're sitting at top of the division by ourselves. Love to see it.
So, speaking of that, we're top of the division. Where do you rank the Eagles in the NFL right now? Because I've been seeing everywhere we're 1, 2. That's where I've been seeing. Like, Stephen A. Smith has us 1, and he had the Bills 2. So, further, I'm going to start with you. Where do you have the Eagles ranked right now?
Number 1. I mean, after the last, let's just eliminate that Lions game and just look at the past 2 games with the Vikings and the Commanders. We look like a number 1 team right now. We look great. We look dominant. Our defense is just completely dominating. Our offense is having fun. And when you see Ertz from last season and how he's been training and progressing and wanting to do better for this team, And it's showing that also the team is starting to care a little bit more, saying, hey, you know, this quarterback's really going out. You see Mulata, I don't know if anyone saw him bulldozing anyone that tried to have his way to get at Ertz yesterday. Mulata was like, no, not only are you not getting through, I'm going to put your face into the ground and roll you over. I mean, it was unbelievable. And then you got guys on offense fighting for who wants to be Batman, wearing the cape on the sideline, exchanging it for those TDs. At first, I literally thought it was going to be A.J. Brown. And then Devontae Smith comes out and says, just remember, I got a Heisman Trophy in my house. I'm the best in college. And it showed yesterday. Man, Devontae Smith was a savage. I think he deserves the Batman of the week for week 3.
So, Jimmy, where do you have the Eagles ranked right now?
Well, I'm going to stick with my guns. What I said, before last season. I think, if we grow like we did, and if we add the pieces I thought how we would, I thought this is the year we're going to get that trophy back. So everybody was like, what do you mean? You see this roster? And I said, yeah, but I know who our GM is, and he's really good. And everybody was like, yeah, but he sucks. But Jonathan Gannon sucks, and Hurts can't develop. And I said, yeah, I understand you're listening to the radio stations, but what I'm doing is trying to tell you what actually happens in life. So while those people were getting caught up with all the things that never happened, I was trying to explain, look, this team is building something special. A first-year head coach, first year as starter quarterback, his second year in the league. But imagine if they continue to get better. So I saw all those things last year. So at the beginning of this offseason, you saw the first week, everybody's like, I knew the Eagles, they're going to be the next Browns organization. They're the worst franchise. They didn't trade for Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams. They didn't trade for Deshaun Watson. And I just remember making videos going, why the hell are we trading our entire amount of cap space and all of our picks to get one player? We need an entire defense. We need a stud big name wide receiver on a 4th year of his deal that looking for a new deal. We should trade for a guy like A.J. Brown. That's what I spent my time doing. So I went out and literally mapped out how we could be the Super Bowl contender and literally how we did all those things. So this is not me jumping aboard the bandwagon with the media and everybody else. This scares me when they start, oh yeah, I knew the Eagles were the best ever. It's like, oh no, you guys just said last week we sucked. So I'm going to stick to my guns. What I said last year, I think we are a contender for this year, but now I will switch a little. I don't think we're just a contender this year. I think we are at this moment right now, the number 1 team in the NFL. And I think if we stay healthy, we can stay that way. I think we could happily beat the Dolphins. I know they've got weapons, but we can shut them down. I mean, you can't stop them, but you can hope to contain them. They've got a good defense though. The Bills, they just lost. Poyer and Hyde are banged up. You got so many injuries. Ed Oliver. So again, we have to stay healthy. But I don't care, man. I think even full strength, I think this Eagles team. Ryan mentioned it earlier on offense and defense. Looking at both sides of this ball, it's like, pick your poison, man. What do you want? Because we're going to punch you in the face either way. So for me, I'm sticking to my guns, and I still think we are a Super Bowl contender, but I think we are the number 1 team in the NFL right now.
All right. And for me, I was going to say 2, but the Bills got injured, and I was like, that was a huge blow. So for me, I got it to 1. If the Rams did not play as bad as they did in week 1 against the Bills, they would have been up higher on my list. But right now, they're like 4 or 5 right now, which is sad. But, I got Eagles at 1. And honestly, I'm going to tell you this, Jimmy. I wasn't that big on Hurts. Ryan knows. People in the chat know. I wasn't that big on Hurts in the beginning. I wasn't. I just started the reading in the defense, the accuracy. That really started to get to me. And then this season, he's throwing the ball less and less. 17, 12, 7. That's exactly what I like to see from a quarterback. I don't want him to run as much all those times and risk him getting injured, knock on wood. I don't want that to happen. So I'm glad he's learning and being better from the pocket. And Tom House, he did his thing. Tom House and Tom Brady helped.
He didn't work. That wasn't a real report. That actually didn't happen. He didn't work with Tom House and Tom Brady, but one of the things that he did do, was go work with someone that is under Tom House, and Tom Brady happened to be in the same building. They talked for a minute, but no, he didn't actually go work with Tom. I remember someone made that up, and I was like, let me go check. So I talked with the trainer that works with him, and he was like, no, that didn't happen. So that is something he sought out to do, though, was go. And I actually was on DJ Eastwood's show last week, and I gave the comparison. I said it was like he went and learned from Anakin. He didn't get Obi-Wan. He went and got to learn from Anakin, but it was still obviously did wonders. Every time I asked what Jalen was doing, when I asked his trainer, his chef, where he was, what's he doing, what's he eating, it was always, this guy's here, this guy's changing this, he's doing this. He was doing nothing but trying to get better. So when the media sought out to trash him last year and do everything they could, quarterbacks can't develop, never seen a player get better before, I was like, I don't know what football you guys watch, but I'm going to set out to try to teach them how quarterbacks can get better, especially dual threat. So I taught, how do you hold the ball, going through your reads, certain things that he knew he needed to work on. But a lot of people didn't realize, with a second year, in this system, the first time since high school for him, that was huge. He now gets to learn his play style rather than having to learn a new playbook. So last year we talked about Sirianni putting him in harm's way, having him run the ball a lot, not, throwing the ball 30 plus times. So I think, you see them helping him, accentuating to his skill sets. But I think people also forget at the end of the year, he had a high ankle sprain. So he couldn't really run. It forced him to be in the pocket. So people want to say, I didn't see this, that, the other thing at the end of the year. And it was like, for me, I couldn't believe he came back on that high ankle sprain and played in those games. And, I get the inside information. This guy's ankle is, double the size of his regular. And they're like, if that game doesn't get postponed because of COVID against the Commanders, he wouldn't have played. So I was like, holy shit. So the fact that he came back and played then the next day, I was like, oh my God. So he stayed healthy somehow. But you could see it was bothering him. Now he's healthy. Now he's in the same system for the first time since high school. I think we're all seeing what that can do for a quarterback. Development is real. I made a post last year. Look at what happened with Josh Allen. I showed the first 19 starts compared from Hurts to Allen. And people told me, and I said, don't try to make this about arm strength. Don't try to make this a comparison. Because people, they always try to deflect. And instantly every comment was, well, he doesn't have the same arm strength. And I was like, can you not read the second paragraph? And I said, what I'm trying to teach you is that development is real, that players actually can get better with the right coaching. And people wanted to argue up and down, there's no way Jalen Hurts can get better. And it was just like, I don't know how you think a guy his first year as starter, and I don't mean you, Mitch, I'm talking about the people that were coming at me. Now, it's perfectly fine for people to have skepticism. I totally get it. There are totally players I've been skeptical of. There are players I'm all in on. It's just the way we are. Who cares? My point is the people that went out of their way to bash the Dan Silios of the world. This guy, he's a thug. Get him off the streets. He's in gangs. It's like, what, dude? No, he's really not. So you guys can stop with the shit hot takes because that's what those clowns make their living off of. So I'm going to put a stop to it and continue to. And you see, they're all going to be eating their words soon enough, man. Development is very, very real.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know you can only stay for a short bit of time, so I really appreciate you coming on further. Feels the same way, I hope. And, yeah, man, it's just always good chopping up Eagles with you, bro. Always
Let's
good.
do it again, man. I'll give you an hour of my time one of these weekends. Let's do it.
All right, man.
Great, man.
We're
It
in.
was great talking to you, man. Hey, if you are on Twitter or on YouTube, make sure you go check out Jimmy and let them know where you're at one more time. Give them all your details before you head out.
I really appreciate that, man. On the Road to Victory with Jimmy Smith on YouTube at OTR2 Victory, OTR2 Victory. That's all on Twitter, all that other stuff. I can't thank you enough. I know we were supposed to have more guests on today. I really want to apologize. My Chromebook is a piece of crap. And anytime we get more than 3 people, it kicks me off. But Ryan, my man, is going to help me with that. So looking forward to it. It was great coming on with you guys. I cannot thank you enough for having me on.
Someone
look
just
forward to
popped
next
in
time.
and say hi real quick. Yo, what's up, AK?
You.
AK, you there?
Yes,
There he
sir.
I
Just
thought
got
I was
home.
freezing.
No. Just got home.
All right, man. All right. And Jimmy, we'll catch you later.
Yeah, you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Go Birds!
Yes,
Go
sir.
Birds, man.
We'll
Thank
talk to
you.
soon. Talk to you
Peace,
soon,
Jimmy.
man.
Like,
And if you see in the chat, Next Shift Randy, you might have to scroll up. He has a link in the chat so you can go
it's right
and check out Jimmy on Twitter and YouTube. So he has a link. Thank you, Randy, for dropping that link.
Yep. So how's it going, AK? Got it.
Well,
home?
good, man. I didn't have my camera on, but I literally just got home from work, so I don't want to be seen right now.
Oh,
I
you're
got
good.
you. How was work today, my friend?
Not bad.
Not bad. That's good.
Pretty
Good to
steady, but easy day.
Yeah. So, AK, I'm just going to ask you this because we got Jimmy Smith's answer. So, Eagles blow out the Commanders 24-8. What did you take from this game? Like, what stood out to you the most?
I told you.
Yeah.
No lie, man. Listen,
I don't
we
remember.
all know who Carson Wentz is as Eagle fans, and for some odd reason, Washington believed because they got a new name and a new jersey that things were going to turn around. And it's like, dude, Carson Wentz is a broken man. I get it. He was second in passing yards, but dude, don't read too much into that shit. It's Carson Wentz. Mentally, he cannot take the heat, and when you send him pressure, he fumbles, and you saw it. So listen, man, I kind of knew that game was coming. Maybe next time it won't be as bad, but I highly anticipate it will be. But yeah, man, Carson, he held on to the ball way too long, but yeah, man, our defense is just ridiculous.
9 sacks without blitzing.
Dude, 6 in the first quarter
I
alone.
thought it was 5.
No, it was 6.
It was 6? I thought it was 5.
Yeah. No, that shit was crazy, dude.
Wow.
Wasn't it like 5 their very first 3 drives? Even?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, some ridiculous. Like there was 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. So we got to them. There was definitely pass rushing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry. Our defense was good. And coming from Almighty, you all haven't gone up to a real defense yet.
That's
You
not our
lost.
fault. We didn't make the schedule.
We didn't make the schedule, and you lost. So, yeah. That's all I got to say about that. Wow.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, all I was going to say, man, is I get it. It's only 3 weeks, but the way that this team has played for the first 3 weeks, no one scares me on our schedule right now.
No.
And I'm just being real if you ask me. Like, none of these teams truly scare me right now. So,
Jacksonville, Cardinals, those are the next 2.
no.
Jacksonville doesn't. They did come off a huge win against the Chargers with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, just looking at this schedule in response to Almighty, there's no one on our schedule that has a good defense that we're going to play this whole year. And that is including the Giants schedule. The NFC East schedule is what defense do we play?
Hey, Eric, I'm sorry.
Schedule.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Green Bay's defense is supposed to be really good, but, they just lost Alexander again Sunday with a hamstring, I think, or something like that. So how many weeks he'll be out, who knows? He always tends to get injured. Indianapolis does not look like Indy that we thought they would be. Trying to think here.
The Saints, too. We have the Saints.
The Saints, Pittsburgh's defense, because of TJ being injured, no, I'm good. Isn't Fitzpatrick injured as well right now?
Yes.
So, I mean, that Steeler defense is taking a toll. Arizona's just hanging on by a damn thread. Dude, I'm not worried. I'm really not.
I know. Isn't it great to be an Eagles fan right now? I've never felt so like I'm having fun watching the Eagles. The past 5 years since the Super Bowl, I haven't really had fun like I am right now. I can actually, I'm sitting back just like this going, isn't this great? Who's going to score this drive?
And Jerry Lee, you're 100% correct. Dallas does have a good D, but we have a really good fucking offense. So, I mean, when you put one against the other, it's going to be a great game offensively and defensively. But when it comes to defense on our end to offense on theirs, at least at the moment, they don't match up. Maybe the second game at the end of the year when if they're fully healthy and back to 100%. But right now, they don't match up.
And I wouldn't think the Bengals are much of a threat right now because their offensive line is shambles.
So this is the schedule.
Giants aren't much, but when the Cowboys played the Bucks, Tom Brady sure did show their defense isn't too much to talk about.
I'm not worried about any team. Feels good when you're the worst team in the league right now, having fun.
Bro, Eric, dude, I I
I'm
don't
blown.
understand, bro. How the fuck are you 0-3, my guy?
Yeah, no worries.
I know.
I am mind blown on that start. I know you are too. I have not watched your video just because it's going to hurt my soul. Because, dude, I have backed you all off season, and these guys are making us look fucking dumb. But, dude, what the hell is going on in Las Vegas? Because
And it's crazy. I was in on his live stream, Eric's live stream, and
he
everyone
said it's our
he has
coach.
tons of diehard Raider fans, right? And the morale and the motivation, they were so hyped up in the beginning of the season before week one's game matchup. And it's just amazing how hyped they were. I wonder what they're thinking now.
Bro,
I
they
gotta
should
go
be
see Eric's
3-0
live
right
chat
now.
now.
They should be 3-0 right now. They should
They
be.
should,
With
yeah.
that
There should
amount
be
of
no
talent,
excuse.
they should. And he's right. It probably is Josh McDaniels, man.
Hey,
But
shout out to Nikki, man. He's going to be our guest next week on MK Headlines. So shout out to Nikki, man. Great stuff.
yeah, I feel so bad for Raider Nation, honestly, man. Because I mean,
Almighty
they're
said
not in
the
the
Giants will
NFC.
give Giants said he'll give us Galladay. Or Almighty said he'll give us Galladay.
You know, another coach that came from the Patriots that what was that Lions coach, Matt Patricia?
Matt Patricia, yes.
And he went to the Lions and look what happened because he was, part of the Patriots Belichick's, coaching staff. Now he's back on the Patriots again. And I could see McDaniels going right back to Boston too. Like, no joke.
Wait, you
Like,
see this?
No,
it's
there's
Belichick.
no
It's
way,
nothing
bro.
to do with the rest of the coaching staff. I'm telling you, it's Belichick.
No,
He's
dude, listen, man. I just feel so bad for you, Eric. I'm sorry, man.
You should have learned from the Lions. I had to say it.
Bro, and in all
It's
honesty,
a fact now.
I honestly thought Josh McDaniels would actually be able to make a second go at it and have a successful run. Because he learned his first time. He was young, dumb, and he went over to Bill Belichick. He got to sit behind a legend for so many years and learn and be patient. Right. And you would figure his second go around he'd be successful. And holy shit, I was wrong.
Right. Being an offensive coordinator, a quarterback coach, he's like a Dougie Pederson, Well, he sure isn't a Dougie P. Not that far. But, the Raiders could still come back. They could still pull a couple, it's not over. The season's still very early, very young. It's about how you finish, not how you start. It's still not over. It's still very early in the season. They could still make a run for the playoffs.
Did the Eagles put Covey on waivers? And if they did we get him back?
Are you talking like preseason, bro? Because he's our kick returner and punt returner right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
bunch of Belichick wannabes.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have a really good tree under him.
Hey, guys, should I bench Justin Herbert for that rib injury? Because it's obviously looking like he should have not have started this week. And I know he's all hyped up on morale and he doesn't want to let his team down. But in a way, he really did let his team down by actually playing because he's injured. So should have not have lost to the Jaguars. I don't know how that happened. You have home field advantage. Don't tell me there were more Jaguars in the stadium.
Hey, kid, let me ask you guys this. I was going to ask Jimmy, but he had to go. So, Jalen Hurts, 22 for 35, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rating of 123.5. Where would you rank Jalen Hurts right now in the league? Right now?
Well, in all honesty, if you want to know my real opinion,
yeah, we can beat the Dolphins. Yeah, we can beat the Dolphins.
Jalen Hurts, as far as I know, sits third in the MVP race right now, behind Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. So, if that's where he's sitting after 3 weeks, then that's where I put him. And yeah.
I agree with you. I think he's top 3, top 5 around that range. And again, you have Lamar Jackson, who you can put in there. You got Aaron Rodgers, who you can put in that list. So on and so forth. And further, didn't you tell me you found something about this?
Oh yeah, do you want me to share that real quick?
Share the screen, yeah.
Here's a ranking right now after the matchups of week 3 where Jalen Hurts is ranked officially right now and this now goes with passer rating, passing touchdowns, and completion passages. Jalen Hurts right now is number 6. And I looked up Lamar Jackson's stats, and the reason why Lamar is ahead of Jalen Hurts is because every game he gets 4 TD passes. And the one game he got 140 passer rating. So so Jalen Hurts can still improve. There's a lot more in this season to go, and I can totally see him moving up way further than this. And and what really hurt him was pretty much week 1 with the Lions. If you look at his stats right here, he didn't get any touchdown passes at the Lions game.
Yeah.
And that's what really has hurt him. If you literally just boosted up this week 1 right here, he would definitely be a top 3 right now. Absolutely. No question about it.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. That it speaks volumes what he's done this off season. He's really proven a lot, and I love what Jimmy said. Because I said it this off season too. When you don't have to learn a playbook anymore, you can focus on you. And you can work on getting yourself better. And if you want to be great, you're going to be great, especially if you put in the time and the work to do it. You think Tom Brady's just great and wakes up and pisses excellent because he just does? No, he is Tom Brady because that's what he made himself. Same with Aaron Rodgers, same with Lamar. These guys want to be these guys. So they do everything day in and day out to be that guy. Well, Jalen is just like that. So, sky's the limit.
That's absolutely right. I'm going to go off that. If you notice, Tom Brady's always on the sidelines looking at that tablet, looking at plays. Yep. What could I do this next drive? How can I change things up, make it completely different from the last drive? And that's how he's able to slowly progress down the field and always keep scoring. It's because Tom Brady.
Oh, my God, Randy.
What's up?
God dang, Randy.
But makes more money than him.
Oh yes, she does. But
she got the pants on in the house,
bro. Listen, I had this conversation at work, right? And
some conversation you have.
We were talking about this, about her saying what she did, and I get it, man. She makes a shit ton of money. All right, she definitely trumps him in the money category. But he's fucking Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, now I want to be the fly on the wall in that argument because as far as I know, if they get a divorce, she's going to have to pay him because she makes more money than him. She is the breadwinner. That's how divorces work. So in the end, she's going to have to pay for him, unless his state's different, of course. But and then two. Like, you can sit there and say all you want. Like, I do this, I do that. But, literally, all he has to say is, bitch, I'm Tom Brady. And you automatically win. His name will be a lot bigger and worth a lot more in the end. You know what I mean?
Their marriage has a prenup.
Yeah, but for how long?
We'll never know that.
They've been married a long freaking time, man.
AK and she's oh my God.
This reminds me of that whole Johnny Depp thing and the dude, did you all hear recently that Johnny Depp is dating his lawyer and she's married right now? She's married. She's off doing things with Johnny Depp. She's like, see you. I got Johnny Depp now.
Further. It's Johnny fucking Depp.
Right.
Come on, dog.
He turned that lawyer into a groupie.
I just want to bring this up real
Straight
quick.
up.
I want to bring up with Jerry. Oh, oh
She's
my
a backstage fan.
Yo, man, I
Trying
can
to get
imagine
in the
that
back.
conversation. Her husband calls him up or calls her up, and he's like, "Yo, where are you at? Oh, I'm with Johnny Depp. Where? At his lake house. What the fuck you doing there? Fucking him. Why? Because he's Johnny Depp." And
Yeah,
then now
but,
she's like, what do I say to that? Nothing.
let's
I got
go-
There's
nothing.
nothing you can say to
There's
that. It's
nothing
just
you
like
can
tell
say.
everyone.
It's like
"Well,
I'm
my
not
wife is
worthy.
having
Only thing you
sex
can
with Johnny
say.
Depp."
Only thing you can say is brag that your wife is banging Johnny Depp. Yep. Like that's it.
Right, exactly. Like just crazy how that all just played out. And they asked, what was her name, Amber Heard or whatever. What
Yeah.
does she think of the situation? Why would Amber Heard care after having to pay Johnny Depp? What she thinks of Johnny Depp dating a lawyer is beyond me. But apparently TMZ asked these questions.
Hey
It's
man,
like,
maybe it was part of the agreement. Maybe it was one of those things. If
yeah,
I
it
win
was
your
underlined.
case-
Small
yeah,
print
like it
right
was
there.
in bold print. If I win your case, you got to bang me. I don't know. Like
Yeah, right. Like I don't know. Well, now they're hot and heavy and dating. I thought that was crazy.
that is crazy.
That
Yeah,
is just,
wow.
like,
She always
wow.
wanted to be in a pirate movie. Maybe she's going to get an acting gig now.
Selma Hayek, look out! They're coming for your role.
Well, man, I can't wait for the new Pirate Caribbean movie. I'll be honest, it's going to be better than the last one.
I just gotta ask you, can they get into a movie, a rated R movie?
I don't think Johnny Depp needs to do that. He's already famous.
So,
That's like
I want
pulling
to
a Kim
actually bring this
Kardashian.
up. I want to bring this up. Jerry was saying he's close to 1,000. Well, Jerry, I was actually keeping track. I'm keeping track of it, and it's 1,059 yards right now for Jalen Hurts total. He could get over 4,000 this year. He could. Anything can
No, I
happen.
think he could. I think if he still is maintaining and going in this direction, there really is no excuse for him not to get 4,000 yards.
Oh
His
God!
schedule's too easy.
Put down the pipe, AK. He's gonna give her the peg leg.
The
Brady
back
and
leg. That's
Giselle.
great.
Oh, Brady and Giselle's net
Oh,
worth.
okay. But see, that's the thing, though. Tom Brady is worth a lot less than 600 million, so the motherfucker's making out because he's getting 300 million of that 600 million if it's split right down the middle.
Woo.
Like,
Yeah.
if that is the case, he's making bank. So I don't blame him. Well, no, I still don't blame him.
Yeah. So, how do you guys feel about Jalen Hurts running the ball less each game? It went from 17 to 12 to 7 or 17-11, whatever. AK, how do you feel about that? Him running the ball less each game?
I like it, man. One, it preserves him, and two, it's showing his pocket
Awareness?
his being able to play in the pocket, get the ball down the field. And he throws a lot in the middle of the field. You know, a lot of people knocked him last year for that, and now he's proven some people wrong that he's like, hey, I can throw any pass,
including me. He's proving me wrong right now, including me.
Yeah, so I really like that because he's showing everyone he doesn't need to run to be a really good player.
He is on the team. Doc, he is on the team. Kobe is on the team, isn't he?
He's been catching returns. Someone said on Twitter the other day that one catch by Devontae Smith, that return, is more than the total of Brittany Covey's punt returns already. So I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, that one return by Devontae Smith. So people were saying maybe Devontae Smith needs to do returns.
He bothered to get better on like a certain QB. Well, he's throwing us out of Almighty, who's a Giants fan. So that makes sense.
What do you all think about that catch that Ron Riviere threw the challenge flag too late? We got the play off. Do you think
it was incomplete? It was incomplete.
Oh, I'm saying that's a catch. I'm saying that's a catch. I don't care. We got the first time.
No, dude, listen, I'm not gonna bullshit. Everybody knows it. His left foot never fucking came down. And that's Ron Rivera's fault for waiting so fucking late. So It is what it is.
It is what it is. I remember
deep on the
Tymus flipping out on Twitter when he saw that, though. I laughed so hard.
Dude.
He was so upset.
I
man.
tweeted at him a gif of Devontae Smith, and he goes, "Boy, you know that's a catch."
And
You
not
know that's
just
no
that,
catch.
man. Fucking that second one though, the Smith, the one he caught over the safety,
Yeah.
bro. That was beautifully well placed. Hurts
Yeah.
couldn't have thrown that ball any prettier, bro.
What
Like
about
it
the
was
Devontae
high.
Smith TD catch? That was perfectly placed. I couldn't believe.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yes, yes.
Woo,
They were
boy.
both fantastic.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The one that was right before the TD.
It was right on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, dude. He was
Right
up
when
in the air.
right when I thought Smith hurt himself.
And that was my Virginia Tech boy, Kyle Fuller, out there. Couldn't tackle him. Little Kyle Fuller had no chance on Devontae Smith.
Oh, dude. And in all honesty, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that was a beautifully well-placed ball on the sideline, even though he didn't get his second foot down. Yeah, you might say he could have brought it to the left just a tiny bit so he didn't have to twist as far, but dude, he put it right where only Smith could get it. You know what I mean? Like, say what you will about this kid, man, but he's on fucking fire. Good luck trying to stop him. That's all I gotta say.
It's nice having college players that are from the same team in college coming into the pro together. You know, we also got Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean now together from the same year, same national championship. And
it was a catch, just a late challenge. Thank you. I'll take that.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, bro, it is such a good feeling to know that we got wide receivers.
Bro, I know.
Yeah, I'm just so fucking excited.
Rieger killed us. Dude, Rieger was making me lose hair on top of my head, dude. The stress from Rieger. I couldn't take it anymore.
It felt so good. Yeah, even like he just said Grant looked good. Like I thought Grant was Goddard for a minute. I was like, oh shit, that is not Goddard. Like, I mean, dude, this team is just so well connected. It is ridiculous. And dude, Smith has insane amount of leap ability, and his acrobatic catching is insane. AJ Brown, just give him a 5-yard slant and let him take it for 40. You can't bring him down. You know, even Miles is doing great. Like, dude, this offense is disgusting. As long as everyone stays healthy, I pity any defense who has to stop us.
Yes. First and only player in the NFL to have 900 pass yards and 100 rush yards.
I saw that. I saw that earlier. I was shocked. I was like, wow, that's
in the first 3 weeks. Yep.
First 3 weeks, yeah. Now Jacksonville. It's gonna be I think, is it gonna be a cakewalk? Probably not. I don't think so. Jacksonville could put up the points. But yeah, we're going to leave it at that because tomorrow I'm going live with the Jaguar podcast, a Jacksonville Jaguars content creator. So
you just tell them I said 38-10.
Oh, I will. I will. Oh, look who's just popped in. It's Batman. Hey, Batman.
I'm the fat Batman of the team. I'm the fat.
What is good, Randy?
What's up, man?
Good. I also wanted to pop in and say too that catch by Goddard when he kind of like sidestepped and split the defenders and kind of was like, "Whoops, excuse me, just gotta go between you guys here. Just don't mind me. I'm just going to the end zone." That was sick. That was sick.
Well,
I'm sorry, Jerry. Until a team proves to me that it's going to be tough, I'm not going to say it is. I mean, dude, you got to realize we've only given up.
We gave up.
How many points the last 2 games have we 15, gave up? 15. 15 points in 2 games.
35-15. So combined, we let up 50 points.
Week 1, check this out. Week 1, we were second to last in the NFL on points allowed. We were 31 of top 32 teams on points allowed. That's horrible. By week 3, into week 3, we are number 3 right now on points allowed. So we've gone from literally second to last to top 3 in points allowed. So, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So,
they were just knocking the rust off. No preseason. That
right.
Detroit game, dude. Even Slay said it. He's like, "Hey, the first game's over with. We're good now." And dude, since then, 15 points.
And
Like until somebody proves me otherwise or proves me wrong, I'm sticking with what I say.
if you look at the all-time record between the Lions, it has always been a big fight, almost back and forth when it comes to the Lions and the Eagles for some odd reason. No matter even if the Lions are a crappy team, the Eagles somehow lose in the past. So it's always been a fight going to Detroit to get a win. Obviously not last year, not this year, but you could just see that we improved. We learned from our mistakes, and now we just need to maintain that. And I think going forward, the Jaguars do not scare me at all. They're coming to Philadelphia, mind you. It's not going to be little old Chargers in LA where they don't even have a home field advantage. They will be here in the Philadelphia Eagle fans, rocking and rolling at 1:00 at the Link. It's gonna be a great game.
Like, I'm not going to even bullshit you, bro. Like, you look at this defense right now between Slay and Bradbury, 2 dominant first starters, easily could be number ones on any team. Okay. And then you turn around and you throw in Maddox, who's playing at an all-time high right now. This kid was number 1 in slot corners last year at the end of the year, and he's just getting better. So good luck passing. And then our linebackers, dude, White, TJ Edwards, like they're phenomenal right now. They're doing tremendous job. And then that defensive line, we all know what that is. And CJ Johnson, he's going to get better every week. The more he gets comfortable. And Epps is doing his Epps shit. So
yeah, he is.
I can't say anything wrong about this defense. I mean, our defense is just as strong as our offense. It is truly ridiculous how well he has built this team.
AK, you're the first one to say that even if Gannon wasn't going to be a successful coach, Howie Roseman put us in a position that our defense is so stacked and loaded that we would still be good. You said that quote, and I still think you're right about that.
Oh, yeah, dude. No lie. You got enough. You can listen, man. Even if Jonathan Gannon calls some bullshit defense, these players, especially on this defense, are veterans, and they know certain things, and they can make in-game adjustments as see fit. And if he calls something, they can put themselves in their own position to be successful. We have enough veteran leadership to do that. And I think sometimes that's what this defense does do. He might call something, but then they see something and you see them shift. And the next thing you know, it works out. But they stay inside that scheme that he wants, but it's just a different look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. You called it even before week 1, and you're absolutely right. I 100% agree with that.
Well, actually, I have some breaking news for a movie. Deadpool 3 will come out September 6, 2024, and the Wolverine is going to be in it.
I'm looking out for that new Amsterdam movie coming out, I think, October 6th or October 7th here. It's got Robert De Niro in it, Christian Bale, Taylor Swift, Margot Robbie. The cast is fully set. There's even more than that in there. And it's based on a true, kind of somewhat of a true story of American history. So I'm looking forward to that movie. Shout out. Can I give a shout out to Earl? He's doing the wrestling experience. Go check out Earl Cole's YouTube channel if you're into wrestling. And he does a great job doing follow alongs with wrestling if you're into that. So go check out Earl Cole. And I think, Mitch, aren't you going to be over there a little bit later?
I'm going to be on his show Thursday night at 7:30. So it will be on my channel and his. So,
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. But Wolverine and Deadpool, it's just like, okay. I
have to see it. I got to see it.
Well, since we're on movies,
Colts go, hello, losers.
I just got to.
I don't
say,
know. I can't hear him. I'm on the top of the NFC East right now. What loser? What?
We're number one in the NFL.
No.
Yeah.
He was talking to Almighty.
Oh. I was
But,
like, bro, hold up.
No, I gotta say one thing. Christian Bale, please come back as Batman.
Dude, yes. I don't
Please.
think
I don't want to see another fucking Ben Affleck or fucking what's his name? Who just did it? Oh, the dude from Twilight. What's his face?
Oh, I forgot his name.
Yeah, I don't. God, Christian Bale, just come back and be Batman for our sake.
Have y'all seen Empire of the Sun?
No.
Oh, that was when Christian Bale was a child, and it took place in World War II, where a bunch of English people were in Japan when World War II broke out, and Japan literally did what we did and put all the English and European and Americans into concentration camps in Japan. And Christian Bale was unfortunate that he got separated from his family trying to flee and gets put into a concentration camp.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's all about flying. It's one of the best movies ever made. If you haven't seen Empire of the Sun, definitely go check out Empire.
Wow.
It's one of Christian Bale's. It's what made Christian Bale. Literally, it's that good of a movie.
All right.
Yeah, hell, bring back Michael Keaton. I'll take a 7.
Colts, keep your fingers crossed. Because Colts shows the Jags will double mean walk you.
You know what? I'm shocked though. I'm just looking up right now. Christian Bale has only one Academy Award Oscar for The Fighter. Wow.
Yeah, I just said it. Yeah, it's a new Deadpool or
He got
Wolverine.
nominated for. Only has one. Wow. It's like Leo.
All right, guys, we're going to close it off here. What a great episode for MK Headlines, episode number 45. I got to say thank you to Further for being my co-host on this great episode. Shout out to Jimmy Smith coming on the show. And shout out to AK, man. AK, the founder of the network, of the Hardcore Sports Network, along with me. We just want to say thank you guys for everything you have done. And look at Earl, man. Earl got 80 views on his Raw watch along last night.
Congrats.
So,
Yeah, dude.
Earl is
I
doing
hopped
his
on
thing.
too. Congrats.
Everyone is doing his thing. So make sure you subscribe to the network. We're getting close to 200. So help us get there. And make sure you subscribe to Further. Go to his stream right now. Give it a like. Please do that. And yeah, guys, we'll catch you all later. Bale is underrated.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I want to give a shout out to AK real quick. I wouldn't be going live right now if it wasn't for you, Mitch, and especially AK. AK started this whole thing. I didn't know how to live stream. I've been wanting to know how to live stream for the past 10 years. And so if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this and I wouldn't be chatting with y'all. So I thank you so much for everything you've done. It's been great and it's been fun and I've learned a lot. And I hope I'm doing a good job, and I hope people like hearing me talk and ramble.
Oh, yeah. We love it, man. We love it.
I appreciate you guys so much, especially everyone in the chat being so kind. Y'all are so awesome. Everyone tuning in and going live here. Y'all are great. So thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Next week for MK Headlines 46, we got my guy Nikki Steeds, who's also an Eagles Sixers content creator. Further will be there. And hopefully Randy will be there. There was some confusion or whatever. So, AK, if they didn't know, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, you can find me over at the AK Eagles podcast. But for right now, I'm actually here as AK Eagles Uncensored. So I'm going to leave you with this. I may fuss and cuss, but you can count on me and my content like the fucking city bus. If you like the
There
ride,
we go.
subscribe.
That's the AK I missed. I want that back.
He's
All
back,
right, guys.
baby. He
All
never
right, guys.
left.
We'll catch you all later. Have a good night.
Thank you,
Awesome
guys.
power of nature, hot excitement.